Yo, guys, welcome to the Blue Podcast with me, Tom, and Ben's joining us later, so we'll ask him how he is back when he arrives. But today we're with Lionel. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing very well, mate. Bit rushed. This just got in from work, came straight upstairs to have a chat with you. Obviously, just so people know, do you want to let everyone know, all of our viewers and listeners, know what it is you do?
Right. Yeah. So I'm a fresh out YouTube. A content creator for Chelsea. I've been a Chelsea fan for as long as I can remember, and I just got kind of tired of opinions being shared, and I always thought to myself, that does make sense. So I thought, okay, why not make my own opinions and put them out there? So I just started a couple months ago, new to this, and that's pretty much it. Just do YouTube videos on Chelsea transfers and everything that has to do with football.
Yeah. Good stuff. A bit like what we do over here. But we actually met on another stream. Yeah. And I enjoyed kind of going back and forth with you so much that I thought I've got to bring you on for a podcast as soon as possible. Yeah. So here you are.
Amazing. No, that's good. That's good. I'm glad. That stream was super cool. It was my first one actually. So it was really cool. So I'm always happy to do these now. Like I've just found something new that I can do on YouTube, and I love it. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, before we get started, please like the video and subscribe if you're new around here. It really helps us out. And also make sure you turn on that bell notification so you don't miss a show. Because obviously we are, as a lot of our viewers know, in the process of making lots of different shows here, there, and everywhere. So do make sure you got notifications on. Lionel, I hear a bit of Russian. I don't know if it's my end or your end.
Oh, I don't hear anything. Maybe it's, hold on. Maybe it's my mic. You still hear it?
Nope, it's gone.
Okay, sorry.
Brilliant. That's fine, man. That's fine. So let's talk Chelsea. Obviously, Ben's not here yet, and we're two Chelsea fans. So I mean, what's better to do than that? Obviously, last time we met, England hadn't had the final yet. It was a Friday.
Yeah. And, oh man, sorry again. I haven't said it in person. I know I texted you, but sorry about that.
No, man, that's absolutely fine. Bit gutting the way it happened, but I guess kind of deserved after the reaction that some of the England fans have had, which has not been brilliant. But I try and distance myself from that as much as possible, as I'm sure Ben does as well. But I guess a topic from the Euros is who were Chelsea going to sign who played in the Euros, I guess. Obviously, got adoptions of Declan Rice is rumoured. Haaland, who didn't actually play in the Euros. And did you see we apparently put a bid for 100 mil for Chiesa?
Yeah, I did. I did see that, and I was a bit shocked. I think the match where I noticed him the most was it Porto versus Juventus game when in Champions League, and I noticed this player and I thought, who the hell is this guy? And he was pretty quick. He's a good dribbler. I don't know if you want me to get into deep details on how I feel about that and who should go out the door to make space for him. But
go ahead, mate, honestly.
I think that he would be a good swap for Pulisic.
Oof, that is a controversial thing to say.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because when Pulisic came back from his injury, I think it was Lampard's first season, or was it after COVID? After COVID, the comeback after everything opened up again, and he had that wonderful period where he was taking on defenders and dribbling, and the game that we had against Liverpool, I think it was 5-2 or 5-3, where he danced around the Liverpool defense and all of that. I really believe that, okay, this is Pulisic coming into his own, showing the Premier League what he's all about. And then ever since then, I just feel like there's been such a drop from him. I'm not convinced that he is at the level that we need him to be, or that he's going to be. Obviously, I would love him to prove me wrong and, just be that player. But it just, for me, it looks like he's still in his shell. And, with Tuchel coming in, because I think with Tuchel, you need to have a strong, what's the word? A strong mentality. Like you need to be able to kind of tell him to, bugger off. I can do this. I am the person for this job. And I feel like Pulisic, maybe because of their previous relationship, just hasn't been able to show that. I think Lampard did an amazing thing with Pulisic, where he kept him on the bench and he built up that energy, that anger, that frustration, and then finally when he let him loose on the Premier League, it was we saw
fantastic.
Yeah, and I feel like ever since then there's just been something missing. So I don't know. I think a guy like Chiesa, I'm not saying he'd be perfect, but I think him coming in, the way he plays, the way he goes forward, I don't know, man. It could be interesting, but again, that's a tough one. But yeah.
But I mean, anyway, it seems like the deal got rejected anyway, so it seems like that's not going to happen either way. Obviously, there are the rumours that we have made our first bid for Haaland. How true do you think these are?
I don't know. I usually try and stick to
Fabrizio Romano.
Yeah. I usually try and stick to his news, and whatever he says, I kind of go with. Yeah. It seems like there's nothing official that was made, but we do understand that with these transfers, there's conversations on the side. There's talking to Haaland's team and his agent, and then him personally. So there's different conversation going on at once. So one might think that, okay, maybe Chelsea did put it forward, and Dortmund were like, what on earth are you talking about? But to answer your question, no, I don't think anything official was put, especially with Tammy and Cho being part of the package.
Yeah, no, I don't think Cho will be part of the package. I think there'll be a lot of very angry Chelsea fans if he does go. Obviously, not so much Tammy. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the package, just to maybe save us a few quid, because Dortmund are very well known for. Well, didn't they just recently sign another striker? Or am I misremembering something?
I have no idea, actually, to be honest. But interesting enough, I think this is just random and out there. I mean, outside of him being linked with the move to Dortmund, I think a local transfer might bid us better than sending him to Germany. I think there's more money in if we make the transfer to another English club than if he goes out to Dortmund.
Oh yeah, no, because obviously there's the English tax, basically, which is like why Rice will probably, if we buy him, cost about 80 to 90 million now after his Euros performance and all that. So yeah, unfortunately there is such thing as English tax, and only really works within the Premier League.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like Ben White's going, Arsenal are trying to sign him for 50 million, and then actually Brighton have rejected a 50 million offer for Ben White, which is a bit which is very, very expensive. That's only 20 million less than Virgil van Dijk was.
Right, which is it's crazy to think about. But you know what? I think a lot of times some teams may see something that others don't. I mean, if you look at going back to Dortmund, their like transfer strategy, every single time they've made a purchase, I don't know, in the last maybe 10 years, it's all worked out for them. I mean, from Dembele to Aubameyang to Pulisic to Haaland, all of those decisions that were made have been incredibly, like it's worked incredibly well for them. So, there's some teams that might have looked at Aubameyang before Dortmund and thought, he's all right, but he came into his own and he showed what he was capable of. So who knows? Maybe Ben White is everything they say he is. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, no, that's the thing on that as well, is apparently the transfer window that Dortmund bought Haaland, we could have bought him for that, but said his wages were too expensive, and now we're going to sign him, and his wages are going to be 10 times more expensive than they would have been back then.
Yeah, I mean, I sometimes I I struggle to kind of understand what's going on at Chelsea at times. I think there's more than one conversation going on where whoever's making the final decision, because I mean, as much as we'd like to think it's Marina or it's Roman, or I think there's a cluster, or there's a group of scouts and all these different people that ultimately have a say in who's even on the list to even have a conversation about a transfer. And sometimes I just think a lot, like, we get it wrong. We get it wrong a lot of the times. This is why I'm so for this Haaland move, because I'm like, even if it's 200 million, give them the 200 million. At least we know what we have, right?
Yeah.
Let's not go down the Morata way. Let's not go down the who else? Shevchenko. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is why I'm so for this, and I think most Chelsea fans are so for this transfer, because we're tired of going through flop number 9 after flop number 9.
Well, on that as well, let's also not give him the number 9 shirt, which would be good, because it as much as we joke about it, it possibly could be cursed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know what to say on that subject. It's just it's a bit ridiculous, and I like, as an African, I like to think that Drogba did something like spiritual to that position.
Well, he was the number 11, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah.
Position wise, I feel like he kind of just did something weird. And now, because it's in when we signed Fernando Torres, I was like, you know what, this is it. Like, this is what we needed. And then Torres happened, and I'm like, I cannot understand. And then we go, and I think after Torres was
Costa.
Costa. So Costa, at least
Costa did well. Yeah.
Yeah, he did well, and that's the thing, and I'm gonna keep going back to this Haaland thing. I'm sorry, Chelsea fans, but this is what we need from a striker: someone with grit, powerful, that's gonna disturb defenders. Anyway, yes. But and then we went on with the Morata situation, and that didn't work out. And even the way Diego Costa left was a whole mess and a whole issue. So it just seems like that position is so problematic. But yeah,
it's interesting. But no, I completely agree. Chelsea in since we got Drogba, basically, we have always worked best when we have a really physical, annoying, in-your-face striker up top. Yeah. And let's be honest, that is what Haaland is, isn't it? He's physical, he's quick, he's in your face, he's got a bullet of a shot, which most of the time goes in, which is what Chelsea need. And we've had history of snowflakes up top. If you know, do you know what I mean by that? Just a bit, they're a bit fragile. Yeah. They don't put their body about enough. And I mean, that's also actually why I think that's why Tammy hasn't worked out as well, because he's tall, he's big, but he's not physical. He's not shoving defenders off the ball. And I feel like if he did get that in his game, possibly he could be a very, very good second choice for us. And I think he could still be a very good second choice for us.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I think we should probably send him to Bayern Munich, because it seems like whenever skinny and like frail players go to Bayern Munich and they spend like, I don't know, like 5 days there, they come back swollen, up top. Like if you look at most of their players, when they entered Bayern Munich, they were like, so small, and a year later they're like, oh. So yeah, I would love Tammy to stay. I'm a fan of Tammy. My issue is I look at this Chelsea team and what Roman is trying to achieve and what the board is trying to achieve, and it's to put us in the same conversation as a Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man United, and all these European giants, right? And by doing that, sometimes we have to be a bit severe with the decisions that we make. Yes, Tammy is a graduate, and we love him to bits, and that goes for a lot of other players too. I mean, if Mason Mount didn't have the season that he had, I would probably be having the same conversation about Mason Mount. right now. So I just don't feel like Tammy is going to give us 20 goals a season, 25 goals a season, and that's exactly what we need from our striker. So yeah,
because we have the creativity behind number 9 to give them the opportunity to score goals. I mean, I'd be interested to see how many goals we actually missed. Obviously, Werner missed quite a few, but how many with that creativity we have? It'd be so interesting to see if a proper out-and-out striker could just bag so many goals with like Mount. I mean, Pulisic. I know he said he's not quite as it was, but he had quite a few decent games, I thought, nearby the end. Remember that game when it was, I think, Pulisic, Havertz, and Mount playing as a front three against Palace, I think it was?
Palace.
And they looked incredible.
That was our best game of the season for me personally. I couldn't believe it. We came out from the beginning. We were positive. The movement was amazing. Havertz looked like that 72 million signing. Pulisic's goal was incredible. Top bit, like everything about that game was amazing. So yeah, definitely remember that one. Yeah.
And also, I mean, Havertz has looked stronger and stronger under Tommy Tuchel, and now also he looked really. He was, I think, possibly Germany's best player during the Euros. I don't know if you saw that as well, but yeah, no, he was fantastic. And I thought if Germany got to the semis or the final, he possibly would have got young player of the tournament. But I think did Chaser get that? I think young player of the tournament.
Pedri.
Pedri, yeah, he had a fantastic tournament as well. To be fair,
yeah, he did. Yeah, I mean, Donnarumma could have won that also. He's like 22, isn't he? It's like crazy to think because he's been in the Italian side for so long. You kind of forget that he's he's 22. So yeah,
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? But no, yeah, Donnarumma. Did Donnarumma win Player of the Tournament, or was it? See, that's what I thought. Yeah, and it's a bit interesting considering Pickford actually got Golden Glove, but we move. But then again, it was also the penalty saves he made, and obviously he won the tournament in the end. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Any other Chelsea signings we're thinking of? Oh, Rice, obviously, Declan Rice. Do you want us to sign Declan Rice?
Right. Okay. So this is where like the controversy comes in again. With thing is, I think it's either it's one or the other. I don't think there's space for Declan Rice, Jorginho, Kovacic, and N'Golo Kante. It would be amazing to have all 4 players there and everyone plays their role and waits their turn. But with the caliber of each player, and especially after the tournament that Jorginho had, because initially I'm thinking if we're going for Declan Rice, it's almost a replacement for Jorginho if we're gonna stay with the double six. So I'm not the greatest fan of Declan Rice, but I prefer Declan Rice over Jorginho because Jorginho has so many vital mistakes in him that it's cost us over and over and over again. I remember so many times during this season and the season before where I'm like screaming at my TV at Jorginho. I can go into like the videos that I made early in the season where I'm just like, why is this? Oh, hey.
This is Ben, Lionel, Ben. This is my co-host. He was unfortunately a bit late. He's eating his supper, which is fair enough. We're just talking about Chelsea, Rice, and Jorginho.
I see. Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I just Declan Rice in for sure, but Jorginho has to go, and I don't think the way Marina's going about selling players at this moment, I think you look at Tomori's price and what's his name? Here. What's his name? The defender that's about to go to Crystal Palace? Gurhi. That's how I never know how to pronounce that.
I heard he was. I thought he was playing in the second half of our Scunthorpe game.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's going to Crystal Palace for about 20.
She's selling him.
Yeah. So looking at, like the way things are going about, and them extending Giroud's contract just to get like a few pennies out of him. She's looking to really get rid of players at a non-COVID price during COVID times, which is going to be difficult to do. And that's why I don't think Jorginho is really going anywhere. I mean, his agent even said that, Jorginho is staying at Chelsea for one more season, and then we'll see after that. So, yeah, this Declan Rice situation should be interesting.
It should be. I actually had I actually was on a channel that came out yesterday, Chelsea Perspective, and I had to argue why we should sign Declan Rice. And one of the commenters said that this is the first time a guest has actually lost an argument about a player because he was coming at me with stats. And I was like, oh no, I'm losing this. But I felt like I put some good points out there, like leader, defensively so strong. He won't lose the ball like Jorginho. Like most of my points were, we need him instead of Jorginho. But then also I was talking about the fact that we shouldn't have let Billy Gilmour go if we're going to sign like a Camavinga or something, because Billy Gilmour's already proven in the Premier League. He's 19 or 20 years old now. If we what's the point in signing this young French League One player if they're going to come to the Premier League and have a massive adjusting period? I don't know what's wrong with that. But have you seen the Camavinga rumours, Lionel?
Yeah, I mean, I have, and I don't know if it's just me, but I'm not looking too deep into that because I just I think if there is a purchase being made with that, which I heard Peter Cech is the one pushing for this to be done. I think it's a future thing. I don't think it's for right now. I think it's more of maybe, in hindsight, thinking like, oh no, we missed out on, someone like Haaland, for example, when we could have gotten him for, pennies, and now we're paying this much, and this can happen moving forward. I also definitely think that the best thing for that situation would be, if we do buy him, would be to send him out on loan to see how he can develop. The Gilmour situation, I'm a little suspect about the Gilmour situation because I don't think that Thomas Tuchel sees him the way the rest of us like we see Billy Gilmour, and that goes for a lot of players on the team. Tammy Abraham included, where I just feel like Thomas is just looking at them and thinking, you know what, for the levels that I need to be at to keep this job, I need players that are going to start at that level and stay consistent throughout the season.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
On the Camavinga, I think United are linked with him as well, aren't they? Like they've entered negotiations, so it's going to be interesting with that one. Because he's still really young, so and I'm not sure. Like you say, if United got him, he might get game time. But if Chelsea got him, he'll probably going back on loan somewhere. Because I can't see him getting game time at Chelsea, just purely because you got Kante. So
Well, no, I think a lot of the arguments for Chelsea, from a Chelsea standpoint, is you want to get someone to sit next to Kante, like I guess a Pogba style player, which I think Camavinga is. And I guess Declan Rice would still be able to do that and also just shore up that defence. But shall we get into the YouTube football questions that we ask? And as this is called, obviously, the History of Chelsea interview, we have got to interview Lionel. It's kind of in the name. So we have a bunch of general questions, which a lot of our viewers know about, which we ask our guests when they're support a specific club. And you're our third Chelsea interview, I believe. I think the first one was my dad. I think the second one was my uncle. Am I correct in thinking of that, Ben?
Yes, I think so.
I think so. And now you're our third Chelsea guest in the sense of doing a history of interview. Have you been to any games yourself? Any Chelsea games?
Unfortunately, because I don't live in England, I've only been to one, and that was in Istanbul when we played the Super Cup against Liverpool recently. I was on holiday because my girlfriend is Turkish, so it wasn't actually planned. I kind of almost forgot that it was in Istanbul. So when we got there, I'm having a good time and I'm walking around like the Beşiktaş area, and I'm seeing like Super Cup. Chelsea, Liverpool. I'm like, what? I had to obviously pay an arm and a leg for the ticket, but I managed to get in there. And and I got to see, and that's when I noticed Tomori actually. When you see these guys up, because all my life I just saw them on TV, so I'm like, oh, they look pretty like normal size. And I was in the stadium and I got these amazing seats, and I'm looking right at Tomori, who's this giant, and he's moving so quickly. And I thought to myself, this guy is the future of Chelsea. And unfortunately, anyway. But so that was the match I went to. Most of the games that I am, lucky enough to watch are international games. I was in South Africa for the World Cup of 2010, so I got to watch matches then. But yeah, Chelsea, and I've never been to Stamford Bridge.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I will.
One day.
I'm coming. Yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Cool. Was that the first one?
That was the first. Well, that was the first game. Yeah, this is the only game.
Yeah.
Ask him what his favorite ever game was on TV to watch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, yeah. What is that your favorite ever game, or is there a game on TV that's your favorite ever game?
It's not my favorite ever game. I mean, we lost and Tammy missed the penalty, so I was torn. I was destroyed walking out of that stadium. So not my favorite ever game, but it was nice to see everyone in person. To see Frank Lampard, which is like, I grew up on like, oh my God, Frank Lampard, the like god of Chelsea football, and just to see him was like, So my favorite game on it has to be the 2012 Champions League final. It was one of those matches where like it was that roller coaster ride. I remember a couple of years before that was the 2008. Was it 2008 final in Russia when we lost to
Terry slipped.
United?
Yeah, that's right. Terry slipped.
So that was the first time I cried for Chelsea like football club. Like it was the first time we were this close and the slip happened, and I remember going to bed and crying like real tears. Is that me?
You're right.
Oh.
He's lost us. Yeah, no, you're still there. You're still there.
Oh, okay. Was there an earthquake or something? No? Good?
No,
okay.
We're all good. I've just gone white, like really, really white for some reason. I don't know why. But continue.
Yeah, so that was I remember I was in Dubai. It was my first year in Dubai, and I was actually coming here for uni, which is crazy, but whatever. That's another story. It was the first time that I actually met like some Chelsea folks here in Dubai, and we watched the game together. And I remember like at the end of the night, like running around, throwing stuff all over the place, and like just going crazy. And that for me was like it had to be the favorite game until now. Like when I watch highlights of that game, like it brings out those emotions in me where I'm just like, man, can you believe we won the Champions League? And we won it again, fantastic, but been there, done that. Like,
yeah. Fair enough. Who are your top 5 of all time? Like, I guess from when you started watching, not going to go before that. Who are your top 5 favorite players at Chelsea? Any order. You don't have to order them because obviously that's very, very difficult. But give us your top 5 in any order.
In this top 5, there's gonna be a weird one, and I don't want you or your followers to judge me, okay? Because this is gonna Anyway, so I'm gonna start off with the weirdest one, which is
What's happening?
You're still here, bro.
We're good. Okay.
Yeah, we're still good.
I'm gonna start off with the weird one that I was talking about, and that is not because of what he did at Chelsea. Let me just put everything into perspective before I say this name, and you're like, what? So my favorite player of all time is Andrei Shevchenko. Right, that's my number one. Since I was a kid, my dad was a big AC Milan supporter, so I grew up, in a household where it was all AC Milan, and so I grew up loving, Andrei Shevchenko, watching a lot of Italian football. So when he came to Chelsea, I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing to ever happen. And then Mourinho did what Mourinho did. Okay, it's not Shevchenko's fault, it's Mourinho. Anyway, moving on. Shevchenko is on that list. Obviously, I have to go with Double D, Didier Drogba. Just for the obvious reasons. What a player! What a human being! Just what he did for, obviously when he arrived at Chelsea, no one really saw anything, to what he could have achieved. His first season wasn't that great either. Kind of like a Timo Werner first season type vibes. And he just blossomed into this legend, this backbone of this Chelsea team for so long. So definitely that's number 2. I don't want to do the obvious ones. I feel like I don't want to be like, oh, John Terry and Frank Lampard.
Bro, do it genuinely on your opinion. If it's your opinion, it's your opinion. Just genuinely say yours.
So I'm gonna also go with Hasselback.
Hasselback? Yeah. Jimmy Floyd Hasselback.
Yeah. Obviously his time at Chelsea wasn't that long. But there's just when you see a footballer, especially obviously because of I hate to bring this up, but because of the color of his skin, and for me, to be watching a black football player, at a club that I love, do what he did was also fantastic. I was really young at the time to really understand his impact and what he did for the game. But the older I got, and the more I look back on his tenure at Chelsea, I understand what that meant, and so that's number 3. Is that me, or is that coming from the side?
I can't hear it.
There's some pinging.
Yeah, it's almost like someone's getting a phone call or something.
Yeah,
it might be my phone vibrating. I'll turn it off. Just silent. Well, it might just be my phone vibrating. Hopefully that'll sort it out. Is it still pinging now?
No,
it's fine now.
All right, brilliant. Number 4.
So number 4. I guess I have to go with the obvious, but I enjoyed Carvalho. I thought he was definitely a strong defender. He obviously, because John Terry was there, was almost like an overshadowing of his importance to the club. So I thought he was pretty good. I loved watching him play, and I'm also gonna go with Raul Meireles. That we got, that we got from Liverpool.
Himself.
Yes, and exactly for that, the energy that he brought to this team was so different. I enjoyed his style of play, him going forward. So obviously, there's the guy like the Lampards and the John Terrys, and obviously I have to mention those, but just to kind of keep it different and talk about the players that when I think of Chelsea Football Club, I put them in that stretch of victory of when we were dominating English football. Those are my top 5.
Cool.
Pretty solid top 5, to be fair.
Yeah. So just moving back to sort of match days and matches, do you have any superstitions before matches?
So on match day, I try not to wear a color from the opposite team. So if we're playing Man United, for example, I can't wear red, So that's just how I keep it. I try my best to wear like Chelsea colors, either a white or a blue. But yeah, don't wear opposition colors. That's my little that I do.
That's,
Yeah.
that's
No,
that's quite a good one.
no sky blue for City then.
Yeah, no, none of that. None of that. No, I refuse.
No. Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, there's obviously the ones where it's what's like I'll wear this shirt and then I won't wash this shirt until we lose or something like that. It's a bit that's at least that's a more manageable and I guess cleaner version than some other ones we've heard.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one Chelsea goal in your memory that was your favorite goal, and I think I know which one it will be, but what's your favorite Chelsea goal?
Which one would?
I guess from the fact that you loved the 2012 final, that it'd be the Drogba header and to get us to extra time.
Oh, that's a hard. I mean, there's been so many amazing goals. The thing is, if we're talking about the importance of a goal, then probably yes. But man, Drogba header, yes, iconic. One of Chelsea's most iconic goals. But I'm gonna go with Ramirez's goal against Barcelona in 2012, where starting from Lampard's pass, because people really underestimate how good Lampard's pass was, because basically his back was turned to Ramirez, who's making the run, and he has a quick look and turns and hits the ball perfectly into his path, showing why we love Frank Lampard for the years that we loved him for and still now. And and obviously the finish, the chip over the goalkeeper, sublime. Because at that point I think we had Terry had gotten the red card already. And they had scored, right? And I thought,
they had, I think.
I was like, this is it. This is not going to be great. And then that beautiful moment happened, and I'm just like, wow. So yeah, that I would have to go with that. Obviously, there's millions more, but yeah.
Fair enough. I was actually at the first leg of that game at Stamford Bridge, the Barcelona in 2012. Me and my dad managed to get tickets, which was something. I was only 12 years old, but I tell you what, that was. I know we won it recently with the Champions League, and obviously that's more of a fresh memory for me, and I can remember it more vividly. Well, ish. I'd had a couple of drinks actually, but 2012 was very, very fun for me, and obviously beating Barcelona, I like to say at least I was there in the history of it, which is nice.
I envy you guys so much. Crazy.
So what do you think, sort of going into the new season and stuff, the future looks like for Chelsea as a club and as a team, and with Tuchel and stuff?
It's a tough one because as we all can remember what happened the year after we won the Champions League, right? I think that's probably one of the worst years we've had under Abramovich. So part of me is kind of like, fingers crossed that like we don't go down that road again. But anyway, so I just I would love to win the Super Cup and the World Cup. I think the World Cup is a big one. I think there's only a few chances of us actually winning that, and I just love that gold badge in the middle. I definitely want that on a Chelsea shirt. But I think Super Cup maybe less, but the World Cup is very important.
Premier League or
no, the Super Cup, the Club
World Cup.
The Club World Cup, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Club World Cup, yeah. So yeah, I think the last time around we didn't do so well. So it's good, this time that maybe we can get, over the line. I think the good thing about Tuchel, as different to Di Matteo in that year, is that Tuchel is a seasoned manager who understands how to move forward with this team and with the team in general. And I think Di Matteo, to be honest, there was a lot of luck in how we ended up winning that Champions League. I'm looking forward to especially the World Cup, us winning it. I definitely really want Chelsea to win the Club World Cup. League-wise, I truly believe that we're going to be contenders this year, not like we were saying it last year, like, oh, we're going to be contenders. And then, all of that happened. But so I do think that we're going to be proper contenders this year. It's going to be tough because Liverpool's back, City, United, Leicester, those are the teams that we have to compete against, and they've been amazing, especially last season. I don't know if it's maybe the COVID, thing that, allowed them to be so great, but hopefully we're more contenders. I think with or without a striker, we will be contenders. But if we were to bring someone like Haaland in, I definitely see us finishing either first or second. If he brings with him those goals that we know that he can, we definitely, we've been missing for a while now. We've been missing a striker that can compete with the Mo Salahs and the Harry Kanes for Golden Boot, and that's the missing link, and that's the missing piece at Chelsea. So I'm looking forward to the new season, and I just hope that either with or without the striker, that the guys that we have can get the job done, and I strongly believe that with Tuchel at the helm, we can definitely do that.
I'm going to have to say I completely agree with that. Completely agree with everything you just said.
Obviously. You're a Chelsea fan,
Yeah, I know. Should we start asking you some YouTube questions? Maybe let the viewers, our viewers and your viewers who've come along to get you on maybe reasons why you started YouTube, etc. Well, on that, what event or person inspired you to get into YouTube?
Like I was telling you earlier, I watch a lot of YouTube, and I used to follow like a lot of, obviously, like Chelsea influencers, as you call them, and a lot of the times I would find myself like watching a video about a match that we just played or how things were going, and thinking to myself, man, like, no, I disagree with that. Like, that doesn't make sense, like this. No, Jorginho wasn't okay. He was horrible. Or, it wasn't all Christensen's fault. Like, there's other people leading up to that play that messed up, because I'm a big Christensen fan, and I will cut whoever talks bad about Christensen. I'm just putting that out there. Right. So I used to complain to my girlfriend all the time, and I used to like watch those things, like, I would watch it, and then 5 minutes later pause and be like, can you believe this guy? What is he talking about? So one day she got sick and tired, and she said, you know what, like, you need to start your own YouTube channel. And I thought, oh yeah, sure, I'll do it, And then one day she just brought me like one of those ring light things where you put the phone in, and she's like, okay, here, I don't want to hear about Chelsea anymore. I don't care. I'm a Besiktas supporter, so please stay away from me and just talk to the camera. And and like, that's how I started. If you go to my channel, you go down like to my first few videos, back in I think November was when I started. You will see, like, the lighting's horrible. Like, I'm just like in a dark corner, and I'm like, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's weird. But yeah, I like to think that things have gotten better since then. And yeah, I feel more comfortable doing this, and I'm enjoying YouTube. I think it's fun, and there's so much gratitude from it when you see other people, commenting and liking your video and watching your video, and you think to yourself, like, wow, like, there's actually people like me out there who have kind of a similar view, who understand things the way I understand. And yeah, it's fantastic. So yeah, that's my little story.
Cool. I mean, I guess you've already sort of answered this, but is this your first channel, or have you had other channels in the past?
No, this is my first channel. The same channel I used when I thought I was gonna be a rapper. And so I used that channel back then when I was like, cool. I thought like, yo, like, let me do this. You can tell I'm a bit all over the place in life, but that's the point of the show. But yeah, so I definitely use. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be back.
Right.
Just
So
continue,
yeah, so
continue,
when
yeah.
so that was that was the channel's always been there. I think if in hindsight I would have probably. Oh, welcome back, Ben.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, so it is my first channel, my one and only. And hopefully as things grow, if that happens, there might be something new. Yeah.
Fair enough. What's your favorite type of video to make on your channel, would you say?
One where we win? No. No, I what I enjoy the most is kind of breaking down situations happening around football and around Chelsea. To like that's the stuff that I enjoy. I enjoy breaking down those things, and yeah. So I love looking at you. Yeah, sometimes when you have a match and we win and it's fantastic to do like a video review, but like everyone does the same review, basically talking about the best players and so on and so forth. I just love to kind of get in there and dissect like why the hell are we, linked to Traore, for example. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What are your future goals with your channel? Yeah.
Future goals, man. It's just I would love to be doing YouTube full time. I think I have so many ideas for outside of just football, just things in general that I want to do, entertainment wise. So yeah, I'm kind of masterminding my way into doing a lot more stuff, that's just not just Chelsea football. This is obviously this is the easiest step for me because I love Chelsea and I love football, so I'm gonna love talking about it. But I do want to get into situations where I step a bit out of my comfort and do things that I've been thinking about for a while. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's that's pretty good. I mean, it's similar to us, I guess. With me and Ben have done F1 podcast. We've done a comic book podcast. Yeah. Like taking that step is definitely it's definitely a fun route to go down. I think we're actually interviewing a fighter pilot after this podcast.
Wow.
The fighter pilot podcast anyway. So yeah. Just letting you know, there's lots of options down the road. Unfortunately,
Oh, okay.
You go.
No. I was just gonna say, I'm watching what you guys are doing and how you're moving about it, and how you guys are branching into different things, which I think is, the best thing. A lot of the influencers, if you want to call them that, they stick to one thing, that's all they know. But you guys are branching into all these different things, and it's amazing. And it's something that I'm looking at and thinking to myself, okay, how do I now create my own lane? So thank you guys for that. Honestly, I know you're just doing your thing and you're not really but there's people watching like myself. I'm watching and I really enjoy it, and I'm happy for you guys, and I'm going to continue to support.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, mate. That's really appreciate that. Thank you very much. But as I was about to say, unfortunately, that is all we have time for today. Lionel, do you want to quickly give yourself a shout out? Let us know where we can find you and all that.
Yes, find me on YouTube, Lionel Joel. I'm sure there's like a million Lionel Joels on YouTube, but just look for this face here, and you'll find it. And on Twitter, I think it's Lionel Joel 13, and on Instagram, it's Lionel Joel YouTube. Or yes, sorry, I don't know these things, but find me somewhere, and yeah. Cool. Right. I follow Blue the podcast, so if you really go into their followers.
Yeah, we do follow each other, and he sent me a very nice, sent us a very nice message after the England game saying how sorry he was for us, even though he was arguing against us last time I saw him.
I mean, I was okay.
Ben's half Italian, so it was a win-win situation.
Yeah, I could sit back and relax.
Nice.
Stay neutral.
Whereas I was stood behind the sofa with my dad like this during the penalty shootout.
Man, I'm so sorry for you, but you know, yeah,
it is what it is.
Your media was a bit too cocky, like, oh, we can beat the Italians for sure.
Yeah, that is one of the things. Like the media and the pundits were all like, oh yeah, we've got this. We'll win the season, but.
I'm sure we'll talk about it in the future, but right now I'm still a bit fragile. Well, thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Lionel, for coming on. It was an absolute pleasure again. Remember, you do check him out. His link for the YouTube will be in the description of the video, which will actually out obviously at 6 p.m. today, which is a Thursday. Like if you're new, not like if you're new around here. Like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you're new around here. It really helps us out. We are obviously on the road to 1,000 subscribers, which Lionel's already beaten us to, even though he says he's only been doing it for a month. You beat us to it already.
Yeah, it's from when I was a rapper. I told you, like when I was a gangster rapper.
Are any of your videos still up? Are you rapping?
Oh no, I deleted all. I put all of them down. No, that's done. Yeah,
that's
sorry,
that's unfortunate. Otherwise, I was going to say, go check out Lionel and scroll back a bit.
Embarrassing.
Well, thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I guess we'll see you. I think tomorrow there is a golden show where Cam will be featuring again. I guess Cam will be featuring again on the golden show. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.